Good evening, everybody. This is Mike Tedesco of Wrestleview.com here for the 16th episode, 16 already, of the Post-Raw show. My goodness, it is something else. We are going live here. And immediately, I start dropping frames. I don't understand why. That's okay. But as you can see, I think it's maybe my internet does not like the fact that we're Catholics and have our Christmas tree set up in the back. But I don't know why we just
because of before Thanksgiving.
We drop frames immediately. Yes, that's got to be it.
Right?
We're doing this before Thanksgiving. We put up our decorations before Thanksgiving even happened.
This is our karma, I guess. I don't know.
I guess. I have no idea. But anyway, hello everybody. Mike Tedesco.
Victoria Tedesco.
Yes, for the Post-Raw show. Now, because we got a lot of exciting things coming up on the Wrestleview YouTube channel, we have some new graphics tonight for you to look at and discuss, I guess, if you like them or not. They're snazzy. There's something that Adam came up with. I think they were going to debut it on the Survivor Series podcast last night, but unfortunately Adam doesn't like to cook his food and got food poisoning. So,
oh, poor Adam.
So we're debuting here tonight. So let us know what you think of these new graphics. I think they're pretty sleek looking.
I always give credit to anybody who has to do a show by themselves. Like Doug did a really nice job last night.
Yes. Hats off to Doug Lackey for being able to do that show on his own. Doug does a show on his own every week, though. So
yeah,
that's
but
his
still,
thing.
I know. But like, I don't know if I could do a show by myself.
Yeah, I know. It's
You've done one by yourself before, right? When you did Telemundo.
Yeah. I'm sure I did a show on my own. I definitely have. I just can't remember. God knows if it was any good.
I will never be brave enough, everybody, to do a show by myself.
No, you can get there one day.
But I can't work the contraptions. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what would get me more nervous. Not actually speaking. It would just be more of
right.
All the monitors and stuff like that. It's all too complicated for me.
Yeah, I know. It's something else. But speaking of Doug Lackey, we have some big news coming up here. Our Wrestleview YouTube channel is going to grow exponentially because Doug is moving on from the evil stream or Twitch, twitch.tv, and is coming to YouTube. He's bringing the Wrestleview Weekly to YouTube. So
Yay.
That is debuting this Wednesday.
Yay!
I don't imagine there's really many people that are listening to us right now that haven't seen Wrestleview Weekly before, but in case you haven't, I highly recommend you check out Doug on Wrestleview Weekly. This Wednesday, 8 o'clock, Doug discusses everything from Raw, SmackDown, and everything in between.
He does it all.
So, yes. So I see a lot of people saying, oh, this thing cuts off your forehead and stuff like that. Yeah, it's the design. It's the design. It's not a mistake. No, your forehead's okay because you're so short anyway. But yeah, I got to tell you. I'm almost tapped out on wrestling for the week. I think I'm good. I don't know if I'll be able to watch SmackDown tomorrow. Between Takeover, which was good, but it was super long and super spotty at times. Survivor Series, which I thought was a good show.
I thought it was a good show.
Even though there was no ramifications on any of it whatsoever. The only ramification there really was that Braun Strowman's going to get some matches, coming up soon, true. I guess, against Lesnar. Well, not soon. That one's in like the end of January. But he's going to get Baron Corbin in 4 weeks, which is like, great. Can't wait to see Strowman face Baron Corbin. That's it. I guess we'll see what happens on SmackDown tomorrow. And Shane did say that if anybody loses from SmackDown, there'll be consequences, a.k.a. someone's going to get fired. But, I still didn't think it. I didn't think it was a bad show. I thought most of the matches were good. I thought the only match that really freaking disappointed me. How disappointed was I when this was going on last night? Was the friggin' AOP versus the Bar.
Yeah,
I was really looking forward to that match, and it was a stinker.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to add in the peeing thing, which was fine. It was whatever. It's Vince humor and stuff like that, but the Enzo Amore thing also took away from it.
Oh my god!
It's just like, oh my god, what a fool!
What an embarrassment!
What an idiot!
Like, I love how he tries starting his own chant.
Oh God, that
Like,
was so
really,
embarrassing.
dude?
He's trying to do his promo,
come
thought the
on.
cameras were on. Thought
Nobody.
I swear to God, this guy's such a moron. He probably thought that the entire arena was going to see, little 5'6" Enzo Amore standing on his chair, doing stupid crap, and thought the arena was going to do his entire promo like they used to do. No one cares. You're a moron. Like, sad.
Really
Very sad.
Really, poor guy. No, actually, no.
Not
never
really.
mind. No, never mind.
Not really.
He's a jerk.
God,
So no, never mind.
The only person I feel bad for is his drug dealer. Can you imagine how many phone calls he has to take from Enzo? Dude, you have more stuff, man. You have more stuff.
I feel bad for everybody who was sitting around him last night.
Oh my God. The best part about that was, I know they showed a video of it last night on the, or Doug showed a video that there's no they, unless Doug and his sources, I guess. But, I love that they showed the video, the close up of the security guard, the same security guard who took out Rob Gronkowski at WrestleMania 33 in Orlando. That was, she stopped Rob Gronkowski, and then she absolutely woman-handled Enzo Amore.
Oh,
my favorite.
She was beastly in that. That was insane.
That was so awesome.
So happy for her.
And the fun follow-up, and I'm going to see if I can find a picture of it on Twitter as I talk about this. The fun follow-up is that they have outside the Staples Center tonight. So after Enzo got arrested or detained or whatever it was, they have pictures of Enzo with his real name, Eric Arndt. Arndit? I don't know. Arndit. I don't know how you say his last name. Who cares? But they had them on the doors for security just in case Enzo wanted to get in there. So they had a picture of him and his real name, so he could not get past security this time, I guess.
Love it.
I mean, what a fool. What a
fool.
So stupid. But, I know that, well, they weren't having a great match anyway, the AOP in the bar, but that definitely took some crowd heat away from it. So selfish. What a jerk. You get fired and you look bad getting fired too, number one. And then you go back to your place of employment and you're trying to show up and ruin things for your peers.
That just shows too,
like, so selfish.
Well, not even that. That just shows how stupid he is. Like, to burn your bridges. WWE overall is pretty forgiving with certain stuff. I know with Enzo Amore, it's a little bit of a different story. They're not as forgiving with him, but you never burn your bridges with WWE like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They kind of always do. Even if you get fired, they always leave the door kind of open.
If they think they can make money with you, they will bring you back. I mean, they brought back Scott Hall, they brought back Hogan multiple times. They brought back Hogan multiple. Roddy Piper, they brought back multiple times. They brought back Kevin Nash. They brought back. How many people have talked bad about them?
Oh my gosh.
So many.
And
they all come back.
Well, think about it. Even like Drew McIntyre, like he's back. He's
he left, but he didn't talk bad about them.
No,
but he
didn't.
He did make a comeback, though. They did have him back when he made some improvements.
And
if they think they can make money with you, they'll have you back.
They'll have you back.
So maybe Enzo's mother has to die, and then they'll say, "Oh my God, we can exploit the death, and let's bring Enzo back, and we'll have a storyline all about his mother. It's gonna be awesome."
He was trying to say for so long, "I don't care, I don't need them." You went back to your own job and in the audience, and you made a complete fool of yourself, and you tried to make a statement for yourself. Yeah, you really don't care.
Mm-hmm.
So dumb.
What a moron.
And the one thing I didn't like about Survivor Series, which I'm quoting from my brother Vin. Okay, this is not me.
Okay.
Is the stupid shirts, the stupid SmackDown shirts and the stupid Raw shirts. It looked, and this is a quote from my brother, field day.
Yeah.
It looked like field day. Like, just, it took away from some of the matches. Like, he said it even during the Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. Like, great match. The shirts really were dumb.
I know. I
field
hate
day.
That. It does look like field day.
Does everyone know what field day is? I hope you know what field day is.
Well,
please tell me.
For those outside of the United States, and we do get
true
people
outside
of
the
United States.
Yeah, that's
field
true.
day is like a day that they reserve in like elementary schools and stuff like that, where let's listen to Victoria drink.
Okay, shut up. Seriously.
Where the kids go outside and they have like relay races and crap like that, you know. So if you're not an athletic person, field day is an absolute friggin' nightmare for you. And if you are an athletic person, you get to show off your skills, I guess.
So it just looks like a field day. And the reason why we say field day too, not even to show off your athletic skills, that they wear the shirts, you know, the bright color shirts to represent the teams.
Yeah, poor Goosey. I was always the unathletic fat kid. 18 years later, nothing's changed.
Goosey, stop.
Goose.
Come on.
It's okay. It's okay. But Jamel Watson, yes, Jamel's back this week, is saying Enzo is about 14 minutes and 55 seconds into his 15 minutes of fame. We will not likely be hearing from him again as he slides into irrelevancy. Yes.
I love it. Just slide on down.
Like I said, and it's a sad thing to say. It's a sad thing to say, but Enzo's like right now to me a prime candidate for, oh yeah, I remember that guy. He's dead award. He's a nomination. He's like almost the runner up right now. He's on a bad path right now. It's not looking good for Enzo.
Oh.
The guy is insane. Gets kicked off a flight for smoking, you know, or vaping or whatever it was.
You know what he needs?
He's a mess. He's a mess. He needs an intervention.
He needs help.
He needs help.
I will not be the one to give it to him, but you need help, Enzo Amore.
He does. So we're not going to talk about Survivor Series too much. Doug did a good job of that last night.
Absolutely.
But we will talk about something that does need help, and that was tonight's episode of Monday Night Raw. It needed a lot of help.
I'm not even going to wait till the end of the show. And the end of the podcast.
This is going to be we're not going to lie. Tonight might be the quickest podcast that we ever done because there's really not much. What can we say about this show other than it was boring and dull? We'll talk about like the two angles that happened on it.
And truth be told, we are exhausted.
3 hours of this. I mean, this was crazy. But let's see. I'm already giving you thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
That's my
Sorry.
take right away.
And you're not changing it because last week was like, oh, it's a thumbs down. No, never mind. It was a thumbs up. This is a thumbs down. There was a thumbs down, and it's like, for we just put our numbers at risk because it's people tune in to hear what we think, I guess, and if they hear a thumbs down, okay, good, we got his opinion. Now we got their opinion. Now we can shut off the show for tonight. No, what does that?
Stay with us. Stay with us. Stay with us. But yes, Quentin Walter says it was beyond meh. Jamel gives it a thumbs down. Not fun. Let's see. Goosey, I broke my thumb trying to turn it down fast enough. That's pretty good. But let's see what the Twitterverse also thought of this. 77% thumbs down, resounding thumbs down. I don't see that changing. That's already a very, very big discrepancy between the two. So, well, let's talk about it. I guess because that's just what we do.
Let's just do it.
Okay.
Let's just get into it.
We're just going to go through like the big angles, and then we'll do the quick hits like we used to do. I'm not going to review every single millisecond of the show tonight. No way.
You can do that on your own time.
So, there must be like a major communication breakdown between like the bookers and the creative staff and Vince McMahon, I guess, because Corey Graves seems to be the only one who pays attention. I was paying attention last night. I was totally confused by it. The fact that SmackDown Live did win a match.
It was not a sweep.
It was on the kickoff show. And literally, it's like, okay, SmackDown's up 1-0. And then it's like on the main show, Raw swept. And that's all they counted. And Corey Graves kept going, yeah, well, SmackDown did win. And so Stephanie McMahon, so Baron Corbin comes out and he's like, oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Introduces Stephanie, does the big kiss-ass thing. And while Stephanie's coming down, Corey Graves goes, well, it really wasn't a clean sweep because SmackDown did win on the kickoff show. And immediately right after, Stephanie goes, oh, it was a clean sweep for Raw. It's like, what happened there? Who decided that SmackDown Live was going to win the tag match on the kickoff show? Wouldn't it just been easier wouldn't it just been easier just to give the Revival like a little bit of a rub, or Bobby Roode and Chad Gable, who now apparently have a tag team championship match against AOP because they beat them clean?
Yeah, that was so dumb. I really don't understand that. It just looks.
We'll get into it.
No, I'm talking about the sweep.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's just that was just poor communication and poor whatever you want to call it. I don't know. You can't call it a clean sweep. They won it, but I guess I guess they're just saying their kickoff show doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like they want people to tune in. Look at our pre-show.
Yes.
Don't look at our pre-show though, because it won't matter at the end of the day.
We want you to tune in starting at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for a show that starts at 7. Watch us for 2 hours, and then literally as soon as the main show comes on, we tell you to your face that the 2 hours you just spent was meaningless.
Totally meaningless. Sorry, everyone. Spoiler alert, you wasted your time. That's why I don't watch the kickoff show.
I know.
I used to watch it. Consistently, but no, there's no point. They just proved it. They just made themselves look like idiots.
Yeah, Jamel goes, the kickoff shows are non-canon, apparently.
Yeah, they don't care.
Ashley's in the chat room tonight, and Billy Hefner's there as well. Greetings, gentlemen. The irony is that Raw were supposed to win that kickoff match, but the booker for the match wasn't told that, so they had what happened and declared it non-canon. That is, if that's actually true, that's crazy.
Who said that?
That was Ashley, and I obviously, we got to check our sources here. I forgot to grab my drink tonight, but Doug will consult his sources about that on Wednesday. Where is my source?
Right there, you got it.
This is my source. By the way, Poland Spring is the best water.
We're not promoting Poland Spring.
It is.
You drink whatever water you want, people.
I know. Well, some people, it's unbelievable. Like in certain areas of the United States, you can't get Poland Spring. So just letting you know, it's really good.
Okay, everyone.
If you think you're missing out,
go for Poland Spring.
If you think you're missing out, you are. So anyway, back to this thing because it was crazy. So Corbin tries to say, I did lead Raw to victory. So you did say that if I did a good job, you'd consider making my position more permanent. Braun Strowman comes out and he wants his match against Corbin because he held up his end of the bargain. So Stephanie agrees and gives him a match against Corbin at TLC. So that's happening. Strowman versus Corbin at TLC.
Woohoo.
Strowman asks about his match against Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship, and she gives him the match at Royal Rumble if he can beat Corbin. So that's a caveat right there. So that makes that match, which I had zero interest in, a little interesting now.
No. No. Flat no.
And so Strowman says, "Welcome to Monday Night Braun." So he agrees to that. If he can beat Corbin, he'll get Lesnar at Royal Rumble. And Stephanie also told him he gets to pick the stipulation, so Corbin will face him in a TLC match. So Corbin will get these hands, get these tables, get these ladders, and the chairs. So there's that. And then Stephanie added, did she add? Oh, yeah, another caveat, that Corbin, if he wants to be the permanent general manager, he has to beat Strowman at TLC. And I don't think I'll ever root for Braun Strowman as much as I'll root for him at TLC. I don't think I'll ever root as hard because, God, Baron Corbin. What's to say anymore? I mean, he's meh. He's meh. Now, I guess I've seen some people say, "Oh, Corbin's kind of growing into his role." No, we're just getting used to how bad he is. So if he shines any brighter than he did the week before, even if it's just the dim light of a fading dead star, even if it's just that much light, people are like, "Oh my God, it's better. He's getting better." He's not. He still stinks.
No,
there's no improvement here. His acting is terrible. So Braun Strowman, I hope they book him to win. We shall see, because something happened to Braun Strowman tonight on this show.
Yeah.
So that opener was very, very long. Corbin was going to initially make a 2-on-1 handicap match against Strowman with Lashley and McIntyre, but Stephanie, because tonight I guess she decided she wants to be face. I don't know. There was a Twitter video of her dancing with the Lucha House Party backstage.
You gotta love the Authority. They could just turn whenever they want to.
They go back and forth on the same show. Well, face heel, face heel.
No, they do. And Triple H does it a lot because
I know
he kind of has to. You know what I mean? But he's one to do it. But it doesn't bother me as much so when he does it. But when Stephanie does it, somehow it's just stupid.
Yeah, there's something about Stephanie. I don't know. It's the
But when Triple H does it, I could be a little bit more forgiving. because he runs NXT and
Can we say though about the McMahon children? It's I think it's time for some theme song changes here.
they're so dated.
Shane's "Here Comes the Money," I get it. It's an iconic theme and stuff like that. But man, that song is so dated. And I am like beyond tired of hearing "Style and Grace," whatever her song is. It's got nothing. I don't know. It's like, oh my god, this song sounds like it could have been cool 15 years ago.
It was cool when it came out, I guess, but I don't. Was it even really ever cool? Like her song.
I don't know, but I do think that it's time for a little bit of an update.
They won't do it though.
It's like, man,
I think it's like the last thing they're thinking of. But they should.
So anyway, Stephanie is now face tonight and decided to make it a 6-man tag. So she puts Corbin on the team of Lashley and McIntyre to take on Strowman, Elias, and Finn Balor. And that was like, so and then to make it interesting, they made it an elimination tag match, as if we haven't seen enough multi-person elimination tags. We saw
all it was last night.
We had War Games on Saturday, which was like an hour and a half long match. 2 hours, maybe it was 3. I think it might still be going on. It was a long match.
It's still going on.
The Survivor Series matches, we just got our faces just blasted with elimination tags. And now on Raw, we have to have another elimination tag. And this went long. And they eliminated Finn Balor. McIntyre eliminated him. And then Elias got eliminated by countout. And this thing goes through 2 commercial breaks, and by the time everything... Wait, did it go through 2 or more? Oh, no, it went 1, 2, 3... 3 commercial damn breaks. So, 3. Yeah, I had to count, but I did look at the clock, and it was like 8:50, and this match was still going on. I was like, oh my god, well, Strowman, it came down to 3-on-1, Strowman versus all, Lashley, Corbin, and McIntyre. I was like, well, maybe they'll have Strowman eliminate a few people, and then McIntyre will catch him with a Claymore kick, because that seems to be like the thing they're doing. No, instead, we have this super freaking long match. Oh, this is my favorite. My absolute
Your
favorite.
favorite.
You know this is my favorite.
Yes.
35 minutes of time invested for a no contest in an elimination tag.
Your favorite.
I can't. I hate that. This could have been accomplished with a 2-segment match. You could. Yeah, I'll take 2 segments. I'll take 1 commercial break. Okay.
Fine.
So Finn Balor gets eliminated, and then maybe he gets eliminated early on. He doesn't. It's Finn Balor. He doesn't have to have a good showing anymore. He has no charisma, and he's going nowhere. That's just the way it is. And have Elias get counted out before the first commercial break. And just be like, oh my god, Braun Strowman's in trouble. Have Strowman fight them off in the second break, and then after the break, and then do the angle. We don't like. Why do we have? I get it. They just don't have enough content in the winter. In the fall and winter months.
I have a major problem with this because for many reasons,
Uh-oh.
but one mainly is because. You know how, like, when you were younger, sometimes you really thought your teachers just sat there and wanted to torture you? Like, they looked for ways to torture them? I really think sometimes Vince McMahon just gets so moody that he looks for ways to torture people. I swear to God. Because, come on. Like, you can't say that many people would enjoy 3 commercial breaks for this and enjoy it for this being that long. Who could genuinely say that they enjoyed this full length of a segment and matchup?
Now, I'm not saying go back to Vince Russo didn't have a lot of great ideas, but the one thing that he was kind of right about is the fact that people don't want to watch long matches on TV. They'll watch them on the pay-per-views, but like when you're watching TV and you're flipping through the channels, you don't want to watch long matches. So like during the Attitude Era, no match went over a segment. None of them. Not a one. Maybe if it was like a really special occasion, it did. But I'm not saying go back to that either. But man, like we have to have long matches.
If you're really gonna have like a really long match,
and if we have to have long matches all the time, and I know this is a dead horse. This has been talked about for a long time with the brand split. If you have to have long matches, you're going to expose people. That's why Elias, I think, hasn't even, as a face, he's been good as a face so far, but he hasn't really taken off because every time he does something, okay, Elias, now you have to go have a match. And Elias is great on the mic, not so good in the ring. So that exposes him, that handicaps him because of this era of WWE right now, where you have to fill time. We have to fill time.
Yep.
So even if we're going to give you a non-finish, we still have to fill up time. So if we're going to give the non-finish, I guess they thought the angle was going to be so hot that people wouldn't care, but I cared because the angle wasn't really that great either.
No.
So what happened is that they started attacking Strowman with a chair. At some point in this, Strowman's elbow got busted open, something nasty. I think it was either his elbow or it might have been the side of his head, but there was a lot of blood on the floor, and his face was covered in blood as well. So they just beat him down. Strowman tries to make some bit of a comeback. McIntyre lays him out with a Claymore kick, which actually scared me because McIntyre immediately grabbed his hip, and I was like, oh my God, I hope he didn't get a stinger or chip a bone or break his tailbone or something like that. We can't lose McIntyre right now. And then they took Strowman's arm, which I think was the culprit. I think he was bleeding from the elbow. And they break it. They shatter his elbow, according to Michael Cole later on in the night, by slamming the steel steps onto his arm. And, oh my God.
But he'll be back next week.
Yeah. Well,
he'll have a shattered elbow, and he'll be back next week.
If he's like Ronda Rousey, he'll be doing push-ups next week in the ring.
And smiling, so.
Yeah, so... We don't sell. We only sell injuries, I guess, when it's convenient. I don't know. It's
only when
so
they
strange.
want to.
It's so strange, but yeah. So Strowman's elbow is shattered. So I guess that gives Corbin some kind of advantage at TLC if Strowman can't pull himself up on a ladder with his broken. Yeah, we'll see. But man, it's like all we've been really seeing on Raw lately is like big angle. It's like I'm not complaining, but man, it's like every show has some kind of enormous angle.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm complaining.
Survivor Series last night had the big heel turn by Charlotte Flair, which was brilliantly done, but at the same time, it's like I liked the Charlotte Flair turn. I thought they made her look too good. They made her look like too much of a badass by beating up the referees and stuff like that and pushing people away. And that, of course, it's going to get her cheered. She's fighting off the man, not the man, Becky Lynch, but the man, the oppressive force.
Right.
And I thought they made the heels look really a little too good here as well. And I think that's part of the problem. I think that's part of the reason why we can't get proper angles.
You can't build a face,
we're conditioning the crowds to think, the heels are cool.
I would never want to be a face.
The faces are always fools.
If I were a women's wrestler, I would never want to be a face. I'm telling you right now, I don't think I would be good at it. I don't think anybody could. I think there's an art to being a good baby face, and it's very, very hard to have that.
Yeah.
To have people behind you, you want to be a heel. You get cheered if you're a heel. And even if you're getting booed, it doesn't matter. You're getting more of a reaction being a heel at this point.
Oh, of course. It's we're still living in that world where it's like everybody wants to be, still. It's 20 plus years ago, 22 years ago that it happened. The NWO. They made being a heel in wrestling cool. And everybody still wants to be DX. They want to be the NWO. They want to be Scott Hall, with the toothpick. Hey, yo, doing that thing. And Kevin Nash, the cool guys, that just happen to be bad guys. It's like we're still living in that time period. And they haven't really done a good job of conditioning the audience otherwise. They can condition them for a lot of things. They condition them to think that the only way that a match can end is a finisher.
Yeah.
So anytime, so they can surprise them when they do the random roll up every now and then. They've conditioned them to think like, okay, a match isn't good until the cruiserweights start doing Spanish flies off the apron and off the Titantron and killing each other and spiking each other in the head. The match can't be good until we have all these dives. They can condition the audience to do a lot of things, but they have yet to condition them and get them out of the mindset that, yes, the heel has to be super cool, because they book the heels to be way cooler than the faces. The faces always look like dorks.
Yeah.
They always look like losers.
They don't come up in the end.
And they never, it's like when the face makes the comeback, it never really equals the giant angle that got them there in the first place.
And the big problem is too, it depends on the type of heel. Like, you know what I mean? They don't have, like, even the cowardly heels get over on the faces sometimes. So it just looks stupid.
Yeah. So that was that. So Strowman's elbow's broken, so he'll be back next week. Anyway, so one of the show-long storylines was Seth Rollins looking for Dean Ambrose, and Dean Ambrose was hiding in different places, and went to the boiler room, which was a Shield staple, and spray paint on the wall, burn it down, and stuff like that. So they had the big chase angle all throughout the show. Rollins goes to leave and says he has a plane to catch, even though it was right in the middle of Raw, a show that he's probably contractually obligated to be there for. Oh, no, wait, he is contractually obligated to be there for, but he has a flight to catch in the middle of the damn show.
Of course.
And he leaves the ring. Of course that wasn't true, because Dean Ambrose, thinking that the coast was clear, went out to the ring. And it was really Rollins, the architect, who tricked Ambrose into getting in the ring so he can finally get his hands on Dean Ambrose. And that was like the one angle that I actually liked on the show tonight. And the fact that Dean Ambrose got the better of Seth Rollins, of course, at the end of it anyway. Neither here nor there. But that was a pretty good closing angle. What say you?
I agree. I like the whole... I always like this... What do you call it? The storyline? Throughout the whole night? What do you usually call it?
Just like the show-long storyline.
Yeah, I tend to like those. Because it piques your interest a little bit, and it keeps you motivated to watch the show.
Yeah, it gives it a direction.
Honestly, that was probably the only thing I enjoyed about this show tonight. So
yeah. The only thing that I didn't like.
Ugh.
Oh no, I shouldn't say I didn't like. The only thing I hated, and it's not the only thing. I hated a couple things on the show. Man, okay. I just got to do it. I'm going to have to just, it's going to be very quick, though. Very, very quick, because I don't have the energy to really go into full-blown rant mode, but damn. I get it. WWE is a storytelling company. It's all about the stories and stuff like that, and yeah, I get it. Stuff happens in the world, and people are mean to each other, but only in WWE, could tragedy befall somebody and they look at it as like, oh my God, how can we possibly make money on this? The money that they make on it isn't comparable, I'm sure, to the money that gets paid to the performer who has to exploit their father, like Natalya is having to do right now. She's exploiting her father's death, or they're having her exploit her father's death. And tonight they went full-blown, let's exploit Roman Reigns' leukemia now.
I'm interjecting, okay?
Okay.
Immediately. And the reason why is because anybody can come at me, all right? Come at me all you want. I'm going to say this. For anybody who says, oh, this is story, oh, this is whatever. No. I don't care if they got approval or not. I don't care if you asked Roman Reigns. I don't care if you asked Natalya, can we use, your real-life situations to portray? This is in poor taste. Enough. Move on. Do not talk about Roman Reigns and his leukemia anymore into this storyline. It's no longer involving Roman. It's involving Dean and Seth Rollins. Leave him out of it.
I agree.
In terms of his leukemia. Yeah. And Natalya, leave her father out of it. There's so much more that you can do. You don't need to resort to the sleaziness. And come at me if you disagree. Yeah. I'm going to be honest with you, because a lot of these people on Twitter and Instagram are like, oh, it's part of the storyline. You don't need to use it. I'm sorry. Get over yourselves. There's something else that you can do. You addressed it the first week. Fine. It was fresh. It was relevant and real to the situation. Don't do it anymore. Don't do it.
I agree.
It's not necessary. It's really not necessary. I don't care if movies do it or whatever. It's fiction. I'm not saying that WWE isn't fiction. Obviously, we're looking at scripted.
It's fiction with like a spin on like real life.
But enough is enough.
But like only in this company can something happen to somebody and they're like, oh my God, how can we capitalize and make money on it?
Come at me.
Like the only thing that was missing tonight was because they obviously they had the match with Ruby Riott and Natalya to exploit Jim Neidhart's death, and then Dean Ambrose mentioning the Roman Reigns leukemia thing, and he was saying that Roman Reigns has leukemia because of the stuff that they did in the Shield, and everybody has to pay for their sins, basically. So Roman's paying for his sins and got cancer because of his sins
because of the Shield,
because of the Shield. So that's just absolutely asinine. It's like I get it. The world sucks and stuff happens, and a lot of things have, are based in reality, but they're not the actual reality. It's like, Martin, it's like I don't even know how to properly explain it because I can't believe that I have to explain it sometimes. It's crazy.
Don't even.
It's just, to me, it's just tasteless. It makes me. It's always been the things that have embarrassed me to be a wrestling fan. I mean, I get it. Like, some people say that the Eddie Guerrero thing helped push Rey Mysterio, but you know what? If Rey Mysterio was going to get over, he could have done it on his own without having to exploit Eddie Guerrero's death. And Rey Mysterio is good enough to get over on his own without exploiting Eddie Guerrero's death. He could have been the same guy without exploiting that death. Obviously and to prove it, it's the fact that Chavo Guerrero never really got over. Chavo Guerrero didn't get over using his Uncle Eddie's death. He didn't manage to get over when they tried to exploit it that way. But when they did it with Rey Mysterio, oh my God, it worked.
If you're such a good storyteller, you don't need the real life baloney.
Right.
Sorry, you don't need it.
I know.
What were you going to do when Natalia's dad didn't die? Seriously.
Well, no, they'd be doing the same thing. She'd be Ronda Rousey's friend, I guess. Still, who knows? But
who knows?
I don't know. But I'm trying to just get my point out here real quick. It's just. I don't know. It's just extremely tasteless, and it's that stuff. Like when I was watching in 2006, it was so raw for me when Eddie died. I loved Eddie Guerrero. I really did. And the last thing that I really ever wanted to see, and I know this is for a lot of people. I know it's for a lot of. I'm sure it's for a lot of people involved in the storyline. The last thing you want is, when something happens, to then have to be reminded of it every single week on a show that you're watching to forget about your troubles of the world. It's like, oh, Eddie Guerrero has died. Okay. Very sad. They have these beautiful tribute shows. Next week, let's use it. It's like, what? No. That's just insane.
I think
you can't play with people's emotions like that.
I think
it's not right. And then they drag his widow into it, but we're not talking about Eddie Guerrero right now. We're talking about Roman Reigns is a guy. Now, I have full faith, and I know Victoria does too, that Roman Reigns is going to beat this leukemia. And I have no doubt in my mind. He's a strong guy. He's beat it before. I believe he's going to do it again. But there's a chance. There's a real chance that something could happen. Maybe his treatments don't work, right? It happens with cancer. You think you're treating it the right way, and then you find out it's a different strain than you thought it was, or it mutated differently, and he doesn't recover. Best case scenario, let's say something, God forbid, tragic happens, and he can't come back to wrestling. He lives, but he doesn't come back to wrestling. Or worst case, he passes away. That makes this even worse. It's like, oh my God, well, they used it and he actually passes away. That'd be devastating. It'd be terrible. That's disgusting. It's like, I was almost expecting them to, when they showed the video of the Red Cross tonight with all the work they're doing for the California wildfires, right after the video, to have somebody come out and go, hey, God, what is that smell? Oh, it must be all the smoke from the broken hearts and houses that are burning down. Yeah, because it's wrestling. We can say whatever we want because it's just a story. It's just a story. So exploit the wildfires, why don't you? Why where does it end? Where does it end? Like, where's the line drawn? So it's tasteless to now talk about the wildfires, but we could talk about Jim Neidhart, who's actually dead. It's not an angle. Jim Neidhart is dead. I don't know if they cremated him or if he's in the ground, but he's dead. No matter what, the guy is never coming back. Natalya will never have her father back. That's not an angle. Roman Reigns has cancer for the second time, and when you have it the second time, if you beat it, you have a great chance of getting it a third time. Not an angle. So why is it okay for that? But where's the line drawn? I'm waiting for them to bring out some Saudi henchmen that are going to dissolve people in buckets of acid as an angle, because that's just what we do now in WWE. Okay, I'm good. It's crazy. To me, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Insane. Anyway, so that was the part of Raw that I didn't like. Other than that, I don't think Victoria liked it either. I'm just just gleaning, right?
No, definitely not. I think WWE and the fans have a lot to blame. I think fans excuse a lot of things, and I think WWE allows certain things that shouldn't happen. I got to stop reading comments and everything and looking at stuff because I just get so annoyed. I really do. When I saw like people were commenting about poor Birdie and Bree from Survivor Series last night, saying, "Oh, he should just be dead," and like really, like what is wrong with you?
Yeah, social media is a terrible place. It's a terrible place.
But seriously, like it's like WWE. They do it, and then
the
fans do it too.
Well, the fans are even worse, I guess. So, again, WWE's always kind of, marketed itself to the lowest common denominator of society, and they still do in a way. No matter how much money they make, they're still no matter how much Wall Street values the company, a couple $2 billion, it's still the redheaded child of real entertainment. Because of stuff like this. This is the stuff that holds wrestling back from being great. From being stuff that, I got it. They got their Fox deal. If they ran this angle on Fox 5 and people were watching, I guarantee you get people, invested in it. You get more than just the casual viewer going over USA Network. You're going to turn people off that way.
It's not a reality show.
You're going to turn people off that way.
It's not a reality. You don't need it.
So
if you didn't have it to begin with, don't use it.
All right. So anyway, that was the show long storyline. The ending angle was good. The part about using with Roman Reigns was despicable. And yeah, that's that. Oh, and by the way, they eventually did have the Natalya Ruby Riott match tonight, and all that time they spent exploiting Jim Neidhart's death resulted in a match that no one cared about, that had zero heat, and the two, wrestlers, Natalya and Ruby Riott, have zero chemistry, and they're supposed to be, feigning anger, and they had no heat in their spots. They had no shine. There was no immediacy with their hitting. It looked like they were play acting angry.
I'm gonna disagree with you a little bit. I think Natalya looked really good. I think she really tried with what she had as far as bringing some elements to eat, whether or not the crowd was into it or not. I can't completely diss her as a wrestler, to be honest with you. I think she's got some real talent, but her character just brings her down so much that you almost get fooled by the talent that she does have. But because the way the story's going right now, and if they were going to use, Jim Neidhart's death to elongate the story, obviously this whole feud is just over now. You know what I mean? Like, on to the next, move on. Maybe we'll get another couple matches with her here and there kind of thing. But I think for what what they're trying to portray, she's doing an okay job. And I think, the wrestling doesn't match her character. So that's what is kind of her downfall at this point, Yeah. But for what she did have, she showing the strength and not crying and, just fighting, I would say it was actually overall a pretty decent match. So
yeah, I don't know. I wasn't really feeling it. I felt like there was no intensity in it. I just didn't feel like there was much of anything in it.
I think there was intensity. I just think the crowd didn't care.
Yeah,
like majority of the, unfortunately, with their story.
I think it's like Natalia's acting. I think it's like
that's what I just said. Her
she just can't emote.
Her acting and her character don't help her because she's not a bad wrestler by any means. She's very good.
Yeah, she's good at doing moves, but being a wrestler is more than just doing moves. It's like you have to. I'm sorry if you can't emote, if you can't connect with the audience, you're not a good wrestler. And I don't think Natalya's a good wrestler. I just don't. And she's never understood that concept of it. She just never has. All right. So that's my opinion. So hey, got a difference of opinion finally. So excellent. Ronda Rousey took a big beating last night and had a chair stomped on her neck, on her throat, on her trachea. They even tried to say, it was on her trachea. Oh, my God. At Survivor Series. Comes out without even a sore throat, and she's cutting a promo.
Smiling.
What? What? I get it, but again, this is wrestling. I don't
get it.
This is wrestling in 2018.
What's there to get about it?
No, there's nothing to get about it. But I get this is just what WWE does. You know, they.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, you get, like, why?
Oh no, I don't. In reality, if you saw what happened last night, you're like, wait a minute, what?
She doesn't come for like minuscule things, but then she'll come out when she was beat to hell last night.
Right. It's like so crazy.
I worry about her though a little bit more and more each week now. I really, really like her, and I may sound a little bit of like contradictory of what I said in the past, but she's starting to scare me a little bit because she cannot take criticism. She understands the art of wrestling, but not a lot when it comes to crowds. She doesn't get it. You're not going to get the cheers because I think she was so overwhelmed with the amount of welcoming fans, like, cheering her in the beginning, that she just, like, would smile all the time and cry. But she said to a fan, like, you're not a real man. Like, who were you
Well, the guy was heckling her.
Okay, but you're a face. Get over it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I know you don't have to be like a John Cena face, but you're like, you don't have to kiss the crowd's butts by any means.
Right.
But
even Brock Lesnar went back at somebody last night. They were heckling him too, and he goes, "Shut up, you effing moron!"
But it's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I know, it's Brock Lesnar.
But Brock Lesnar doesn't give a damn about anybody. Do you know what I mean? But she can't take criticism. I worry about her with the crowd. I think if they seriously, like, boo her at any point, and, like, where it's just consistent boos, she's gonna flounder. She can't handle it. She kind of was like Roman Reigns in the sense of, Roman Reigns couldn't handle it in the beginning, but then he embraced it.
Yeah,
she's not embracing it well. She's not.
Well, luckily for her, she was able to get the crowd back on her side. You know, she did her promo, and then she managed to get the crowd back on her side. I don't know. I can't really recap what she said because it was more of that, you know, that more scripted than anything language that nobody really actually speaks. But I believe that she actually believes every word that she said. It just sounds kind of, you know, whatever. I love her delivery, though, the intensity of her words. Even like when she said, you know, like TLC, I have to face Nia Jax, but I'm going to tap her out. And when I'm done with Jax, the next chapter of Rousey versus Charlotte Flair will be written. They'll finish what they started last night.
See, I didn't like her delivery tonight at all.
God.
No, I'm being honest with you.
Yeah.
She tried to be intense. I think she fell flat. I really do.
Well, I mean, you're not gonna nail it every time.
No,
I don't think this was by any means her best promo ever.
Not her
but
best
she comes
promo.
off like a superstar. But again, it's like, you know, it's hard to like kind of really get into it just because she's not selling those injuries. You know, she's never. I believe to be a really, really good face, you have to look human every now and then. And the WWE philosophy is, well, if we have a major star, they can't look human ever. They have to be Superman every single time. They have to be Superman. That's that John Cena, Hulk Hogan mentality. You know, Steve Austin, even to an extent, you know, was never really made to look truly bad. You know, he was always like kind of like the, you know, the big superhero coming back, you know, fighting the authority and whatever. So, you know, but it hurts. It really hurts the angles.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, overall, like, I was very disappointed too when Mickie James came out.
Oh yeah, that was the thing that brought the crowd back because they were chanting Becky and she looked kind of disappointed about that. But she, you know, Corbin came out and she goes, you know, I want to face somebody right now, so find me a challenger, or maybe you want a shot at the champ. And everybody's like, oh, you know, she got the crowd into it. That was a good thing. And this part I absolutely loved. So I'm with you. I was very disappointed when Mickie James came out, but I was not disappointed when Mickie threw her jacket at Rousey, and Rousey just caught it with one hand and just calmly just sent it right back. That was absolutely hilarious. I love that. I can watch it. I can watch it over. It's perfect. And that just shows like the intensity. Like she approaches it like she would a UFC match. I think anytime she's on TV doing her thing, she's approaching it like it's a UFC match, and she's locked in. She's locked in like it's her prey.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I will agree with that.
But the match with Mickie James was just a little shine fest, and Rousey easily beat her after 3 Piper's Pits, which is her snap Samoan drop, and then she put the armbar on for the submission. They sent out Nia Jax, who came out the big boos, and she held up her fist just to remind her, yeah, I'm the face breaker, and I'll see you at TLC. So that's happening. You know,
I have nothing to say about anything with Tamina and Nia Jax and Bayley and Sasha at this point. I really don't.
Yes. So the quick hits, yes.
I really think that Nia Jax, I love this worked out in her favor. She's a true heel now.
Mm-hmm.
She's embracing the boos.
Yes.
The face breaker hashtag is genius. Tamina, I'm tired of. Like, you have just, and Bayley and Sasha. Everybody knows my opinion. Bayley and Sasha. They're just so too long, too late. This stupid little like friendship that they have, and now like these, you know, and then.
I cringe every time they come out.
There's nothing you can do about it at this point. I really don't even want to talk about them. They annoy me that much at this point. Like, it's just frustrating.
Then I'll just quickly talk about it. Because Tamina is very, very rough around the edges. Still is.
She is.
She really should just be the muscle for like Nia Jax. You know, the ringside bodyguard, pretty much. You know, and that's it. She shouldn't. I don't think they should have her wrestling. I really don't.
I don't either. She should come in for like a one spot type thing. Like you said, bring the muscle in it, and that's it. There's nothing else that she should be doing. She has no business at this point. I was kind of excited for her to match up with Nia. The really good like camaraderie and match up and tag team and like a tag team, but.
Yeah.
No, now I'm over it.
Yeah, I'm
over it. The only one that I like enjoyed during that part was Nia Jax, because I like how she turned it around.
Yeah.
I really do. I really like how
she took a bad situation and is running with it.
She definitely
and obviously, did. You know, they're okay with it. You know, Becky Lynch is fine with it, so they go on. So Nia Jax is looking good as a heel, and they made quick work. Not quick work, but they made some work of Sasha Banks and Bayley, who I wish would just go away as far away as possible. I don't even care if the angle pays. Like if they move to SmackDown and this 3-year angle pays off on SmackDown, I don't care. I don't want to recap it. I don't even need to see it. I just want it to be over.
Like I said, I think with the two of them, I think they need to really change up their characters, do something, take a break. I don't know.
I don't know. They're actually, I don't know is the correct answer.
I think they hit the peak. I think they hit the peak of what they.
Yeah, they're peaked out. No, they're way past their peak. They actually had they managed to get some type of reaction back when they had Sasha turn on Bayley twice this freaking year. They managed to get him back, and then they pulled the rug out from under them for whatever reason. Like, they actually broke up, and they had some of the worst segments in Raw history with the Dr. Shelby thing, and then they just put them back together. It's like, okay, well, we screwed up, so let's just put it back together, and we'll try again next year.
Yeah, let's try to forget about this.
It's like, man.
Not forgetting.
So what is wrong with that? Anyway,
I wish I could forget.
Well, we're going to forget. We're just going to move on. Lucha House Party defeated the Revival in a whatever match.
They're just fun. I like the Lucha House Party. They're just fun, too.
Yeah. So they had the Drake Maverick urine thing last night. So of course they had, you know, more pee jokes today, more Vince McMahon humor. You know, they had Drake. It was kind of cute. And they had Drake Maverick on the buffet line, and one of the stagehands goes, "Hey, did you try the peas?" And then, you know, like a couple people were, you know, like Heath Slater and Rhino were behind him going, "God, even my kids don't pee themselves anymore. You know, they're out of diapers now at least." And then finally, Chad Gable and Bobby Roode made fun of him, and Maverick goes, "You're in trouble," and they start laughing because he said urine. So whatever. So that led to a match with Bobby Roode and Chad Gable taking on AOP, the Raw Tag Team Champions, in a non-title match, and Chad Gable pins Akam.
That makes sense.
Yeah. You know what? whatever happened to like number one contenders matches? like we had Lucha House Party versus the Revival. Like that's not a tag team division match that would go into somebody getting a title shot eventually.
No, we
have to be AOP. We have to be AOP with the smallest guy on the entire roster. No thanks. I'm not even gonna get into why that's so ridiculous. It just is. And that's it for Raw pretty much. We got Natalya, Ruby Riott, we already talked about that, and everything else was pretty much covered. So that was Raw. God, it was a long show. It felt every bit like 3 hours this week. Mercifully, and we started panicking. We started panicking.
I was like, it's 11.
Yeah,
it's 11.
It was actually 11 o'clock here. And
Real Country's coming.
And it was like, the Raw's still on. I was like, no, the overrun is finished, right? It's over.
Stop.
They did. And actually, now that I come to think of it, I think I rewound something real quick, and that might have dragged it a little more. Maybe.
Really?
But we were getting scared because it was 11 o'clock on the nose, and we're like, why is this still on?
Real Country. Real Country.
Like, I don't even want to watch Real Country, but I want to watch Real Country.
I just want to know when it's on so that Raw's over.
Real Country is my safety blanket right now. But, Jamel said it earlier in the chat room that this is like, winter, fall, always bad for Raw. Like I had high hopes, and we talked about it, on one of the earlier post Raws. I had high hopes that this was going to be like a good fall and winter, because they seem to have things set up. Unfortunately, the monkey wrench of Roman getting leukemia, really upset all those plans. But
I think that
they're not doing a good job though.
No, their pay-per-views have been good in my opinion. Like I thought Survivor Series was great yesterday.
Pay-per-views always deliver.
So it's like not always during this time, but
mostly they do.
But somehow this year, exceptionally, they've done really well. But like their follow up with like these Raws and SmackDowns are just not as. I mean, SmackDown's way better than Raw. I say it all the time, but I don't know. They just they do fall into that slump of they just don't care. Well, I mean, we'll start to pick up again once with the Rumble. Like I'm sure TLC will be good, and then once the Rumble comes around, you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's something. I kind of envy. I gotta say sometimes though. I really envy those people that literally they don't watch a single minute of WWE TV. They just have their network, and when it's a pay-per-view, they turn it on, they watch, and they're like, "Oh my god, wrestling is actually really good."
That's a lot of our friends actually
because they don't watch the TV shows anymore. Because the video packages cover everything anyway, so you can just skip,
and the video packages are fantastic. Whoever does the video packaging for WWE, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's been the theme for like 20 plus years.
They
the video
can
packages
make
are always great.
The worst matchup, and just by watching a package, make you want to see a match, and then it could be the worst match in the entire world. Doesn't matter. Their video packaging is incredible.
Yeah. So they got great video packages. And we're about to run a video package of the Wrestleview logo because we're about to get out of here. This is okay, we'll wait for
don't even say it.
She's drinking.
Don't even say it.
She's drinking.
I still don't feel good.
That's the only way we can get through Raw is if we just drink.
I don't feel good.
It's not really water, people. No, we're just kidding.
No.
No. Victoria has never had a drink of alcohol in her life, be honest with you. Anyway, so, yeah. Oh, thank you, Ashley, for reminding me. The crowd was chanting AOPP.
AOPP.
So, yeah.
AOPP.
That happened as well.
I guess that's an OPP.
Yeah,
AOPP.
You got the AOPP. Yeah, you know me. Okay. I did that on air. Okay, great. Thank you for goading me into that.
You're welcome.
All right. So that was Post Raw number 16. Hopefully we come back and have a better show next week. This show I think was fine. I mean Raw.
Raw.
Raw has to get better. I think we were fine here tonight, but
I hope so.
Raw needs to get better. But we want to say thank you to everybody in the chat room for listening to us tonight. Thanks to everybody who listens to us on Spotify, on iTunes, however you listen to us. We really appreciate it. Make sure you tune in on Wednesday. 8 o'clock, Doug Lackey's bringing the Wrestleview Weekly to YouTube. Make sure you're watching that. make sure you're following along with all the great stuff that's going on in Wrestleview. Things are happening on this website that are really awesome, and you should want to check it out because I'm very proud to work for them, and it's never a dull moment. So one more time, let's look at the Raw results, see if it went up. Obviously, we give it a solid thumbs down, and it's actually fluctuated. I was watching it fluctuate before. It went up to 81%. Now it's back to 79% thumbs down. So still not a good show, no matter what. So anyway, I am Mike Tedesco.
I am Victoria Tedesco.
Have a good night, everybody, or a good week, whatever it is. Bye.
Happy Thanksgiving.